Hey everyone, this volcano in Iceland is going to get expensive for the residents in Iceland. We will talk about this. We talk about what's the status of lava cooling, what is the Icelandic Meteorological Office saying about what's going on in that magma chamber underneath the Blue Lagoon in Svartsengi. Both have been heavily threatened this time by this eruption through lava flows, and the magma chamber is right underneath. So is the land there still subsiding, or has it started rising again? And we know if the magma chamber empties out, it's subsiding. If it fills up again for the next eruption, it's going to rise. So we have news there, but let's start about with a lot of various different news around this volcanic eruption that are very, very interesting. So good updates. So what are they going to do with the road, Grindavíkurvegur, that has been, again, as always, like in most of these eruptions, been flowed over by lava, destroyed again. I mean, the pictures were pretty incredible how that lava is creeping forward over that road, and the noise it makes while it's doing that, pretty creepy. But you know, they need that road. This is the major access road to Svartsengi and to the Blue Lagoon, and of course then further down south to Grindavik as well. Grindavik has two other roads that lead to Grindavik from the west and to the east. The one to the east, you would really have to drive a detour to get to the capital, to Reykjavik, or to the airport, Keflavik airport. So the western road, that's still fine, but you know, they need Grindavíkurvegur back. So as I always say, they're like the Fraggle Rock. As soon as it's destroyed, they go at it again. And even while the lava was threatening everything, these heroes in their excavators were fighting against it. So we will also hear how their water cooling is going with the new water cooling equipment. So they are working to forge a new path for Grindavíkurvegur. And sorry guys, the snorting in the background, that's my sick dog Apollo. He has a tumor on his upper palatal and in his nose. That's why I'm in an RV, because I had to travel quite far to get radiation treatment for him. If you want to know more about this, I'm taking you on the ride. I've made a video, part 1, about this. It's in the end screen. So forging a new path for Grindavíkurvegur, the excavator guys are going on that lava carpet. And remember, it's black on top, but it's really hot and glowing underneath still, because this carpet is so fresh. But they have started the new Grindavíkurvegur construction. So contractors have started to work on it at 4 p.m. local time today. And that's the 4th time that this specific section here in Svartsengi has been covered by this volcano, by the lava flow. And basically since November last year, since everything started, since this unrest on the Reykjanes Peninsula started. But this time they have to do something. They have to slightly move the road. The old road will basically for now be used for tourists. Imagine that, that want to stop and take pictures of the surrounding area, of these lava carpets, of the destruction and the lava flow. So interesting. Maybe this is going to be a future parking lot or something like this. So as you see in this picture, you see the road, and then you see this massive and quite high carpet of lava. So a section of 600 meters has to be cleared. That's a little less than half a mile, I would think, has to be cleared to connect the road again, to connect the two parts that have been cut off from the road again. And they think that it will take them about 2 weeks. Should there not be any more lava flow, which is probably not expected at that time. So 2 weeks to restore the road to a usable condition. But they say usable for the people who really need critical access. That does not mean the public. They say it is uncertain until when the public will be able to access that road again. And imagine, they have built a total of 10 kilometers of new roads through these lava flows, through these lava carpets since the eruption began. And why are they starting just now? Well, of course, this lava is hot, but it also took them several days to make plans and to design a new road line where this road would go. And you know, while they're clearing, you see this excavator there, you can see that there's still hot lumps, red hot lumps of lava in that material that they're trying to push away. So they're really at it. They're not wasting any time. The good thing is, and that's what the company says that is conducting this work, that their personnel right now, their workers have become quite experienced in working with this kind of material. So they have gained considerable experience in also assessing situation like this and what would be safe for them and what not. So hopefully this is the case. So the problem that they're facing is, especially the larger blocks are still hot. The longest part of that route that they need to clear is loose lava rock. So he says where they're beginning, there they have this very, very tall lava carpet and very, very tall chunks of lava. So that's what they're going through right now. But the experts, the engineers say behind that, the lava rocks are much smoother and easier to cross and move. So initially, they were planning to build that road as a work road for material transport. They need to restore infrastructure. Maybe they need to work on that destroyed mast a little more and have more access and stuff like this. I mean, there's still the parking lot of the Blue Lagoon that has been completely destroyed. He says, although this road will be open, it will not be an immediate access to public traffic. So he says this is a topic that they need to think about at a later day. But this has begun, and that's a good thing. What Kristin Jonsdottir, she's from the Icelandic Meteorological Office, she basically says that they think that the lava flow towards Svartsengi is over for now. We still have these underground rivers that could do something, but let's listen to what they're saying. So since today, this eruption has been going on for 1 week already. What Kristin says is that at the Met Office right now, they don't see any signs that this eruption is ending. Let's be clear about this. It's normal that some craters are slowing down, but this eruption has even slowed down slower than previous eruptions. So no end in sight for now. And also no signs that overall this eruption series that had started a year ago on the Reykjanes Peninsula is coming to an end. So probably we will see another eruption like this shortly, maybe early next year. So what Kristin says, the activity in the eruption has been remained fairly similar to the last few days, hasn't really changed much, but right now it's only limited to the most northern crater after the activity has subsided in the southernmost crater yesterday. That's a good thing because the northernmost crater is sending the lava flow to the east, and nothing new is being sent to the west anymore. That's where Svartsengi and the Blue Lagoon is. So that's good. But also Kristin says that it's unconfirmed, as measurements need still to be made to confirm all that. So what they want to do is they want to install more webcams to have a better surveillance of the northern crater. The problem is they don't really have good access to their old equipment right now because the current lava has flowed over a path up to Fagradalsfjall. That's where we have also seen eruptions. And it makes it more difficult to access their equipment. But the lava flow model that they're currently conducting basically aims for the eruption to continue in the next 2 weeks in this same crater. So they don't expect any changes. And then they will estimate that the lava flow will be happening to the east and to the north and not towards Svartsengi, which she also confirms is very good news. And Kristin says this eruption can continue to go on for quite a long time at several cubic meters per second as a flow rate. But it's difficult for them to predict how long it will last. It's a wait and see game again. And guys, it's getting expensive, not only for the residents of Grindavik, should they decide to live in Grindavik, also if they decided to live somewhere else, basically for all Iceland, because we know the natural disaster insurance that Iceland does have for stuff like this or avalanches. I mean, Iceland, there's a lot going on, has almost been bankrupt by paying out the homes for the residents of Grindavik. So how to solve these problems should there be future damages, because the Reykjanes Peninsula obviously did wake up from an 800-year sleep, so we could see more eruptions, simultaneous eruptions, more lava flows that could destroy more critical infrastructure or homes, and it could get even more expensive than what it has cost to bail out the residents of Grindavik. And sorry, Apollo's snoring. It's causing him problems. That's why it's so loud. So the natural disaster insurance has no choice. They had to increase their insurance premiums for the residents of Iceland. And it's significant, guys. It's really significant. It's tough. It's 50%. 50% increase that has been approved by Alpingi. That's the name of the company. It's an approval of an amendment to the Act on Iceland's Natural Disaster Insurance, NTI, and that includes the agency's authority, hopefully, to temporarily increase the premium by 50%. They have made an announcement today, and it states that the recent events that have taken place on the Reykjanes Peninsula have had a significant impact on NTI's financial position. And we know all that. We have followed this. And they want to make sure that at all times that this organization has funds to pay compensation for damage to properties or contents or other movable property that is insured by the NTI. And that's why they're doing this. So as of January 1st, 2025, residents will be charged a 50% surcharge alongside their fire insurance premiums. So you pay this additional disaster insurance with your fire insurance premium. Let's have a quick look at the land rise or subsidence that is happening under Svartsengi, because that gives us an indication what the volcano underneath is doing. And the Icelandic Meteorological Office has released graphs with an update, because we were wondering, is it still subsiding or is it reaching a stop, and will it start to fill up again? What they're saying is basically, since that volcanic activity has decreased, with that decrease also comes a decrease of the land subsidence in the area in and around Svartsengi. But they're saying the changes between the days are very, very small. So that's why it's necessary to look at a longer time frame over several days to really determine a trend, to see, did the land rise really stop? But what you see in these graphs, that are basically records from the GPS station that has the name Seng, S-E-N-G, that is located at Svartsengi, and that is over the last 3 months, over the last 90 days. And they have measured the changes in the north, that's the top, the east, and vertical, that's on the bottom. And I always like to look at the vertical the most. The bottom curve shows land changes in millimeters. And yesterday's measurement, that is from November 26th, has shown some stop to this. So yesterday's measurement is the green dot that you see here. So you see that is up a little bit. So that could tell us the decrease has stopped. And this red vertical line is, this is when the eruption has started a week ago. So then you see the red line, and then it really went down immediately because the magma chamber was emptying out, sending the magma to the eruption site, and then it was coming out as lava there. So in light of the fact that eruption activity has been decreasing, they have lowered their risk assessment for Svartsengi and Grindavik. So this is back to yellow. Svartsengi went from red to orange. The Icelandic Meteorological Office has said this is valid until November 29th, unless anything changes. Because based on the development of the eruption in the recent days and also the gas pollution forecast, they have changed it to this latest version. They're saying in area 1 that is orange, that's Svartsengi, the risk of lava flows and gas pollution is still assessed high, so it's not gone, but they say the risk of pyroclastic activity is now assessed as low and was previously assessed as considerable, so a stage higher. And for Grindavik, the only change is that the risk of gas pollution is now assessed as considerable, and it was previously very, very high. So Grindavik was not under threat from lava flow anyways. And they were fighting this thing in and around Svartsengi. They've been working tirelessly on the defense walls with their excavators, with their dozers. They were trying to erect a 30-meter high electricity mast that could carry the main power lines over the lava carpet to restore power again from the Svartsengi power plant. And the lava cooling efforts that they have done with the lava that was flowing along the defense walls, along the northern defense walls, Blue Lagoon, Svartsengi area, they had cooled this because they thought we can stop it, but we can also use this cooled area to widen the defense walls and then make the defense walls higher. But they needed to cool it first so that they would not, if you dig down 2 to 3 meters, you get the glowing lava rivers. So that's why, but they have completed the lava cooling for now. That was their announcement today. So they have worked 8-hour shifts, basically around the clock, to cool the lava for over a week. And that is ending now unless they need it again. And let's talk about the defense walls a little bit. What they basically said is it's impossible to say what the tolerance limit of these defense wall is, but they do have a tolerance limit. You can only increase them that much. There is a limit in height that you can do. The chairman of the board of the Geosciences Institute, Oleiger Sigmarsson, has said, for now, the defense walls are in a good place, even though lava did flow down towards Svartsengi. But he says, fortunately, the crater is calming down now, so that's a good thing. Because they have done a report to the Prime Minister's office earlier in the month, and they said that it's the board's opinion that they would only need 1 or 2 eruptions of similar magnitude and in a similar location as the last eruptions to prove it difficult to protect the energy infrastructure in Svartsengi, and then of course the Blue Lagoon. So only 1 more of this that lets the lava flow in the same direction and lets the lava carpet build up, then it would be critical. So it is critical. So they're lucky that it's the northern crater that is still active and not the middle crater that was sending all the lava towards Svartsengi. Had that been active for longer, they would have run into problems most likely. So what they're saying, and they make it clear, if we see another eruption in the southern part of the Sutnuka crater series, their opinion is that it would prove difficult to defend Svartsengi and Grindavik. So take that in, because there is no end in sight. Some say this could last for decades or for centuries. But also, if it erupts or keeps erupting in the north, it could destroy the major highway, Reykjanesbrau. That's what they're saying as well. So it's many directions are bad. To the south, there's Grindavik. To the west, there's Svartsengi. To the north, there's Reykjanesbraut. To the east, towards Fagradalsfjall, probably the best option right now. So they're saying if it erupts to the south, it will naturally go up to the defense walls around Grindavik. It will raise up like it always does. And that's a big deal. That's what they're saying. But right now, it's relatively to the north and the central crater has died down. So they were able to handle it quite well because the flows were not super great, not super big. And they're also saying, first and foremost, we need to praise those who perform these heroic deeds and are bravely building these defense walls and protecting the infrastructure and the region. And yes, they're heroes. They're the Fraggle Rock guys. And they say it's impossible to say how many more eruptions like this the infrastructure in the area or the whole area can withstand, as there is no way to know exactly where they will occur. But what we know so far, they always occur along this red magma dike, this magma intrusion that has formed last year on November 10th. Magma was sent out on the way, couldn't make its way to the surface, but was causing this almost 15-kilometer long magma tunnel filled with magma. That's the red line here. So we have seen the eruptions along that line. And if they're getting closer to the south, we see what has happened to Grindavik. It has destroyed 3 homes. It was very close to Grindavik, has breached the defense walls in Grindavik. An eruption has also breached the defense walls in Svartsengi already, like 2 eruptions ago. Had that eruption not ended, that would have been bad. But the breach happened basically on the last day of the eruption. But overall, they say, well, we can give you our opinions, but we have no idea. It's just the way it is. Nature is just the way that it is. And that's definitely true. And when it comes to what I reported yesterday, that they want to put the power line back in production, they say it'll probably be back in business before the weekend. So it's looking very good. You see a picture here, how you see the lava fields and how the lines are going over these lava fields. They have assembled that mast yesterday, and this morning they started to fine-tune everything, and then the wire will be pulled over the lava carpet. So yeah, guys, for now, everything seems to be okay, but that can change with the next eruption. And it only takes one bad location for the next eruption, and everything in that area that we've been following for over a year could be destroyed. So we have to be on the lookout and on the watch. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your wonderful support of this channel and of my dog, my sick dog Apollo, through this channel. Your heartfelt messages and your support, the coffees you bought me to be able to help out with Apollo's vet bills. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. You have no idea how much that helps and how much that means to me. So thanks a lot for that. I'm saying thank you in the name of Apollo, and I will release an update later tonight or tomorrow about what's going on. So see you then. Check out the videos in the end screen and stay safe and prepared, guys. I see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.